Doc, congratulations. What was the most pleasing aspect of that for you?
Well, I think it was, really significant that it was a great game in the 100th game for the club. So I thought Sydney were outstanding, and for us to come away in a really tight tussle and get a win, and for everyone to be here and enjoy, couldn't have got much better day. So I think just the occasion was probably the most important thing about the day, and the fact that our players showed up and performed at a really high level. Clearly, 2-point game, so a little bit of luck involved whenever you win by a small margin. But the game itself was impressive.
And Noffy herself, she really seemed to handle the occasion really well.
Yeah, she's just really consistent. So I think if you look back over the 100, there won't be too many where you go, oh no, she didn't show up today. But no, she's had a big week. She was over in Melbourne yesterday. But just, she's a professional and showed up ready to perform, and, really solid game, lots of tackles again, adds to that record number. Led really well as well.
Was it a tricky balance as coach, given the amount of spotlight this week in the lead-up?
Yeah, pretty comfortable to be fair. She's, as I said, she's really focused, really competitive, driven, and so, yes, there was a bit of noise externally, but I was pretty confident she'd be right.
And what were the keys early when you got off to that nice start?
Yeah, obviously, we got those first couple of goals, which ended up being important. And then from there, probably for the rest of that quarter, and for most of the game, to be honest, we weren't really able to control Sydney's uncontested possession. So they won that stat by a fair bit, and were able to, march the ball down and got it into our D50, and we gave up a couple of frees, and they scored a couple. But I thought across the day, that was probably the story. We won contested ball, they won uncontested. They had a lot more of the ball. We had a few more inside 50s, and in the end, just a good game of footy, really. And as I said, when you come out on top, you think, I hope they're all like that. When you come out on the other side, you probably think, no, I'm not so sure. But it was a really good game.
And sort of having to try a few things up forward at the moment?
Yeah, we're having to be a little bit creative ahead of the ball, obviously with some injuries. But I thought, some of those things came off, and we need to probably give our forwards, particularly when we're playing a more mid-sized forward line, a little bit better looks. We probably ask a little bit too much of them at times, but the way they competed, the way they hung in there, and ultimately, kicked a winning score was really pleasing.
And didn't manage to goal in the last quarter there, but clearly we're able to do a lot right to hang on.
I thought it was pretty even quarter. We had our chances, but couldn't quite put them away. But I thought the pressure that the forwards applied, and the ability for us to at least keep a good percentage of the game in this half, as opposed to perhaps in the first three quarters, they tended to march it down pretty effectively. So overall, really happy with that. And then obviously the last sort of 3 minutes of the game, we thought we showed a fair bit of composure in the way that we managed that situation as well. So it was a good day.
And improving to 5-2, I think it
is.
You must be pleased with having met some challenges along the way with where you're sitting right now.
Yeah, I think it's a really good season in terms of the evenness of the competition. And we'd obviously rather have won a couple that we lost, but I think the reality is that our footy has improved across the course of the season thus far. We're going to have to improve a little bit more, but it feels as though, I know they're putting in a lot of work, and they're going to continue to push for that. And if we can keep getting results in the way that we are, then we'll give ourselves a chance at the back end of it.
Thank you.
Cheers.